What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another video. And as I alluded to in a recent market update for Mint on Cards, I did finally pick up one of the goal items for 2023 that I didn't think I'd actually get. And that's the Trilogo Mint on Card for Princess Leia in her bounty hunter disguise of Boushh. And I do have a number of loose graded examples, some of them pretty nice ones, but I did not have any mint on cards for Princess Leia in her Boushh disguise. But I've always wanted the Trilogo, and I finally did acquire one. But really quickly, let me just show you the loose graded figures that I've got in my collection already. This is the no COO. So when you get those two dashes there for AFA, that means it's the no COO version. And this one is graded 85. The no COO is kind of very telltale signs because she's got a very wide face and kind of red eyes, reddish brown eyes. So usually when I see an ungraded Leia Boushh and it has these characteristics with the very wide face and those red eyes, I'm guessing it's probably the no COO. It's not very hard to find, and this is probably the figure that's inside the Trilogo I'm going to show you here in a little while. Next up is a Hong Kong, and this is a very high grade one, graded 90 plus. Wow. So that's a very, very high grade example of the Hong Kong Leia Boushh. And, you know, there are a number of different Hong Kongs out there. I think there might be Taiwan. You know, I know there's a Taiwan. I don't have a loose graded Taiwan, although I do have the baggie that I'll show you in a second. But, you know, there's like molded torso and painted torsos and all kinds of different things like that. I haven't gone that far down the rabbit hole yet, but I just got some of the basic ones in my collection. So this is the basic Hong Kong graded 90 plus. One of the tougher ones to find is the Lily Letty. And what's cool about this one is that mine has the overstock unpainted Lily Letty helmet. So pretty cool one. This one also has a Hong Kong COO, but this is the Lily Letty as it says there. This is one I did get graded myself. 85 plus is what it came back with. The funny thing is that I had the incorrect Hong Kong figure when I sent it in originally to CAS for grading. This is definitely the Lily Letty staff. It's got a mark on it, like an L or something like that. And this is absolutely the overstock Lily Letty helmet for Boushh because it's got a mark on the inside with another stamp that lets you know which one it is. But the figure I sent in was incorrect, so I had to track down a near mint plus condition Lily Letty Boushh, and I did find one on eBay for like 30 bucks. It was great. It had the incorrect accessories. I already had the accessories, so I mixed and matched and resent it in to Collector Archive Services, and it did get the 85 plus. So that was a win. It took a little work on my part, but I did finally get it. Next up is the Taiwan. This is the only Taiwan I've got in my collection, but this is a baggie Taiwan, a pretty common one. There is also another baggie that's a Hong Kong baggie that's a little bit harder to find. I believe it's a tape seal, but don't quote me on that. But this one is graded 85 by UKG. This is the ROTJ-H baggie, and easily the most common baggie for Leia Boushh. But I don't remember the other. It's a ROTJ-A, I believe, is the other one. That's a Hong Kong, I believe. But that's one I do not have. But this baggie is probably the best one. This is a French Meccano free sale sample baggie. So this is what was sitting on toy store shelves or at the counter when you checked out. And I believe if you bought one or two figures, then you could pick up out of the bin one of these baggies that has a free, a free in French for figures that the Meccano factory was giving away. So this one is graded by AFA with the archival case Meccano free figure sticker on it, and this is graded 80 plus Euro baggie A. So this is a pretty cool one. Pretty tough to track down these Meccano sales, free sample baggies, but they're known to have this kind of bright orange sticker on there, and I picked that one up from CIB in a private transaction on Facebook. So thank you again, Matt D, for the help with that one. But here's the one I just picked up from Jeff Jacobs, and I also did buy the same day a Returno Lily Letty Luke Bespin. And if you follow me on Instagram, you already saw the damage there. I talked to Jeff Jacobs, who's got probably one of the, if not the largest collection of Star Wars vintage items ever. I mean, his collection's unbelievable. He does sell on eBay under Jeff's Collectible Empire, and his son runs that eBay store. Well, unfortunately, he shipped my AFA 80 Returno Luke Bespin Lily Letty in a really poor, small, flimsy box, and the pegs broke inside. So I had to ship that one back to them for a refund, unfortunately. And Jeff's son also did not pack this one very well either. He packed it in a very flimsy priority mail box. And it's amazing that it made it here safely because it had absolutely no protection, but it did make it here safe and sound, luckily. But I did reach out to Jeff Jacob and I said, look, whoever's in charge of your packing, you have got to make sure that they double box these expensive mint on cards. Otherwise, they're just not going to make it. Luckily, this one did make it, and it's a stunner. It's one I've wanted for a long time, 5 or 6 years at least. I've been trying to track one of these down, and I've always kept losing out, or I didn't have the money when one became available. But the gods aligned and PayPal credit aligned, and I put this one on PayPal credit. When I saw it come up for auction on eBay, I was like, I'm absolutely going to go after it, and I'm going to put in a nuclear bid. I know that a number of my subscribers, and I believe even some of my Patreon supporters, went after that one. But you weren't going to win it. I'm telling you right now, because I put a nuclear bid in it. When I say a nuclear bid, it means I use like the auction sniper software, and I put it in a ridiculous overbid because I wanted to make sure I won it. And I think in the end, I ended up paying about a fair price for it. The one I lost out on Dark Side Alliance on Facebook, that one went for about $100 less, but it was about the same grade and it was ungraded. So I think after you factor in grading costs and everything, and you got to worry about shipping from overseas and things like that, I think in the end I paid about the same price. So I'm fine with it. But it's a punched example. Beautiful. It's funny because the helmet is kind of sitting sideways on her face there, even though she's facing forward. But great looking card image there, and it's graded by Collector Archive Services. The card got an 80, blister 80, figure 85 for an overall 85. The most notable damage is actually right next to the grading label. So down here you can see some scuffing right there. There's some very light indentations on the blister. You can kind of see it in the light, how it kind of caves in just a little bit there. But in general, this is exactly what I was looking for. It's not an AFA 85 or 90 or an unpunched example that would just go for stratospheric money. It was a punched example, and it was graded 80. And so I think it was kind of a perfect fit for me. So I definitely went very, very hard after it. And luckily, it did arrive here safely despite the poor packing job. But anyway, for those of you who do buy from Jeff's Collectible Empire on eBay, rest assured, I did speak with Jeff privately, and he said he's going to have a talking to with his son to make sure that does not happen again, because I did unfortunately have to send back my Returno Lily Letty Luke Bespin, which I was very excited about because it's tough to find that one. And it was already graded AFA 80, archival case, brand new case style. I was really excited about it, but it arrived broken, so I had to send it back, unfortunately. So anyway, just be rest assured that I did speak with Jeff, and hopefully for future auctions, which he does list stuff very regularly on eBay, that hopefully we won't have any more issues. But just a gorgeous example, and again, the only thing I really saw that caused it to get some points taken off were the scratches there, and then obviously the indentation on the blister that's very faint. But otherwise, the blister is in great shape, just really, really great condition. I'll kind of do a 360 here so you can take a look at it. But the card is just immaculate, straight as an arrow. And I'm very, very, very happy to have this one finally. And quite honestly, now that I've got the Trilogo Boushh, I don't really have anything that's like must-have for my collection. And that's a good place to be in. This was kind of the last really big item that I wanted for my collection in terms of mint on cards. There's certainly, don't get me wrong, we're collectors, right? We all have something that we would love to have. I would love to have a clear blister Return of the Jedi R5D4. That's one I'd love to have. And there's some other Trilogos for other characters I'd like to build out, because I think I've got 24 mint on card graded Trilogos in my collection now. So it's a pretty good little run I've got going. So certainly I'd love to have some other characters, maybe some other lesser characters. But in terms of must-haves now, this was the last big one that I really, really wanted to have. And I'm super, super happy to have it. And I did put together a quick slideshow with all of these items in case you want to take a closer look at all of them. But it's a perfect addition to my very small Boushh run. In terms of loose graded, I wouldn't mind getting a loose graded Taiwan and maybe that ROTJ A baggie to build out the baggies. But These are very much first world problems. There's nothing I absolutely have to have these days for as it relates to Star Wars. Now that I've got the one big item that I wanted, and I just want to say thanks to those of you who watch, and I will be back soon.